So here we have an interesting project. It could be seen as a still life project with a group of objects. It could be seen as a mixed media piece of work, or it could be seen as even a seascape. It's actually based on an exam question, which is based on the topic of messages. Artists have often used their work to convey messages about society, and obviously he's interested in conservation and pollution, and he has an article here on his first page from a newspaper which is entitled "Seafood Eaters Ingest Up to 11,000 Tiny Pieces of Plastic Every Year, Study Shows." And interestingly also, he's decided to include pictures of development work and a final piece on his first page. So he starts off with some pictures of pollution, plastics, bottles, etc., maybe washed up on shore. Got this sign here where people are encouraged to take their rubbish home with them. And he's got some pencil drawings and some more pictures of bottles. So he's got very simple black background, but then on that black background he's got written work in a gel pen and then type comments where he's highlighting the key points, and they're ripped and they're arranged in a scrapbook type effect, but very effective use of colour and presentation. Again, if we look at his third piece of initial prep, this is actually based on photography. So he's taken some photographs. Here he's taken some photographs of things being washed up on the shore. He's got a little map here of where he's taken the photographs, and then he's editing the photographs to enhance the colour and make them look more effective. And then his fourth piece of initial prep is a painting of just the fish's head and parts of the fish. And then if we look at his work for the black sheet, we see high quality pencil work, high quality painting of the fish's head and then the bottle in the sand, and then that strikingly edited photograph where parts of it look quite black and white, but the colour of the bottle is exaggerated. If we look at his artist research work, he's chosen to look at Salvador Dali and Surrealism. Got some general information on Dali's work and his life there. More information on this idea of surrealists use substitution in their work. In other words, one thing can change or metamorphise into another thing. So here we have the scissors metamorphizing into human figures. We've got an analysis of a painting. Perhaps he could have chosen a more appropriate painting which shows metamorphosis, but actually it does show a beach scene which is quite interesting. And then if we go on to his first piece of development, he is then trying to combine a bottle with a fish or a lobster with kind of wrappers and rubbish which might have been washed up on shore. And here more combinations of collage onto the fish or collage onto the lobster and the objects there. And then he's got some information here on the types of rubbish which is commonly found in our oceans. So this is his first piece of development. If we look at his second piece of development, he's then combining things. So he's combined an extra element now, which is the fish's head. And thinking about how does he situate the two objects in the background. He's got some good quality artwork. He's got his step-by-step images explaining the different stages he's gone through, from drawing it out to adding colour to adding collage. He's got some experimental work here regarding how he's going to do the sea in the background. And then here we have his final piece of development 2. So if we look at his development work on the black sheets for the exhibition, we see two striking pieces of work. On the first piece, he's included more mixed media, so as well as paint, he has some collage in the claw of the lobster, and then he's got some actual sand stuck to the picture and some shells stuck to the picture for the beach. And then in the second piece, there is the addition of this fish brought into the composition. And finally, if we have a look at his final piece work, we see he's building on this compositional ideas of the lobster and the fish and the sea, and then the sand, etc., which he stuck into his sketchbook there, talking about how he might stick that down. And then he has some images of his final piece, plus of course some narration of what it all means and how it all links in with conservation and our ideas of pollution. And here we see a final piece which includes all of the elements, if you like, of the development he's produced, which are the mixed media elements such as collage items, sand and shells. He's got some photography from the bottle there, and then he's got plenty of painting, which shows high quality art skills to produce a very effective and striking final image. This project certainly ticks all the boxes for a level 9 project. It's got high quality skills, it's well set out and researched, it's got a meaningful subject to it, and he has interpreted that subject in a very clever and original and effective way.